Marines and medics, just trying to get into some good positions, maybe spot some units. Everybody's kind of got a base, and everybody's kind of got low money here or high money there. Oh, but really nice positioning, but he picks off the tank first. We'll probably pick off the rest of this, but the rest of the Marines stim in and pick off some really weak Dragoons before the rest of the Dragoons can fire on them, forcing the Dragoons back. Oh, sorry, I keep losing the mouse. I think it's because I turned my sensitivity way up yesterday to get used to it. Either way, Drone is putting up some more cannons. And Chronic should, yeah, he's just gonna stim in here, but there's so many Dragoons here, he needs to run away. Once he got back at home, just some more Marines and a tank. What do I have? I have my Lurkers. I don't care who you are, if Lurkers aren't awesome to you, you're not a good human being. No, I'm kidding. Just think Lurkers are awesome, because Swarm Host and Heart of the Swarm is gonna be amazing. You may look at it and say, oh, but it's so weak. It only fires every, like, 16 seconds in game time or something, or every 24 seconds in game time. That doesn't matter. It does damage, it's burrowed, it's a siege unit. I love it. I can't. I'm sorry, Heart of the Swarm, it's not the fact that, oh, yeah, Zerg gets such awesome units, we get everything we want. No, actually, we don't get everything we want. But we get the thing that was missing, in my opinion, from original Wings of Liberty to Heart of the Swarm, is because we get the units that make us feel more like Zerg, in my opinion. That make us feel more like we're swarming you with units, they're gonna die, we're just swarming you with a lot of stuff, and we are very tricky. That's why the abduction thing, very tricky, feels like something Zerg would have. Oh, I could have done some damage there because he was over microing, but I would have lost all those links, so it's a good idea that I pulled back, waiting for my expand. I'm currently behind everybody right now, so it's really on me to just stay alive, and nobody can really push in now that I've got the Lurkers. Unless, well, Chronic could push in if he had tanks, but then he can tell Drown is, or he could probably, at some point Drown would probably push out just being very anxious. He likes to be aggressive, so throwing down more gateways. He just wants more Dragoons. And he keeps coming down here, but I think he's scouted this way like 3 times. There's nobody there. So he moves into the middle of the map. We have Chronic getting a little more antsy, but Drown's the really one who's being antsy, and I'm moving around the map with the Lings. I don't know if I come into this. Nope, I spot that and I move away. Yeah, losing only 1 Ling, that's not too bad considering. And I move away. Drown wants to push up at me. I pull back. I don't know if he gets aggressive towards my main. I cannot exactly remember. I know I relocate these. Oh, nope, he pulls back. And Drown being more and more in the center of the map, more and more presence, I think he should actually start taking these bases here and just station himself here. Chronic, on the other hand, needs to get these tanks in good positions. Tanks are so good in StarCraft 1. If anybody here played Brood War, you'll know. Tanks were amazing in StarCraft 1. Definitely an amazing unit, and probably the thing that made Terran feel so Terran. Because that. Look at that. Look at that. Stuff just dies. Oh, it's so beautiful. Anyway, we have Chronic pushing far too ahead of himself, losing a lot of Marines for next to no reason at all. He needs to let the tanks get their shots. I'm moving around the map trying to get all my units in good places, because what I'm thinking about doing is expanding here and just setting up in that area, but I think I'd just throw down a bunch of hatches in my main, because, I mean, look how much drones I have, look how much mineral patches I have, about 50,000 per thing. I'm fine. So, got me moving around the map with my Zerglings right now, just kind of looking around, seeing what's around me. I know Drone's been around the map a lot, so I definitely don't want to run into his Dragoons, but I don't want to get too aggressive right now. Lurker's just kind of spawning in, burrowing in different locations. And Drone wants to push in here a slight amount. Oh, just checking for bases. I think he's going to see this. Oh, but he catches me at a really good time. Can I burrow in time? I burrow all the Dragoons, and oh, look at the front line of them just disappearing. he now can't push into here because he will funnel into this and the lurkers will destroy him. I took out so many in such a short time, but oh, Chronic with the nice side attack. Will he get the siege tank sieged in time? Doesn't look like it. Oh, just two. But oh, that's all he needs. Look at the siege tank shots, just breaking everything. Now, there's actually something wrong with siege in this game, if y'all don't know. If you've played this, then awesome, you know. But there's actually something wrong. They not only do their 30 damage, or well, they not only do their siege damage or whatever, they also deal their splash damage, right? And you're like, oh, well, that's how tanks have always worked. They deal damage to the target, damage with splash to all the units around the target. Well, guess what? It also deals the splash damage to the target, so it can one-shot anything. Basically, anything. Chronic, though, is going to push in here and kill a lot of stuff. I don't know if he'll kill him outright, but oh, look, I've got a counterattack. Came in, took out the worker line, took out the command center, and I'm pushing into the main. Chronic, though, is pushing into the main of Drown, taking out a lot of units, trying to focus down this Nexus, and stemming on a Nexus for no reason when there's nothing around it. But I don't care. It's Brood War. Nostalgia is amazing. But I'm in here taking out everything in Chronic's main, taking out all the reinforcements, and that's the awesome part. While Chronic's trying to deal with it, trying to also kill Drown at the same time, pushing in and killing more of these Dragoons. I wish he would siege this tank right here, and he'd have free reign in this whole area. But he's just going to push in. I'm kind of moving around because I actually did not know where Drown had spawned at this point. I was still kind of confused by that, just due to the fact that I hadn't been really able to get too far out of my base because of their unit positioning. And it usually drowns in the middle of the map, so I wasn't really able to do too much so far. But these two have been duking it out this whole time, and Chronic's losing everything in his base. There goes a bunch of factories. Now I'm working on the barracks, but we have the Marines and the tanks and the Goliath, the solo Goliath, dealing the damage into the main of Drown. Might have to pull back if Drown can muster up enough units, but it doesn't look like he will. He's pulling all his probes, rushing in. The Marines still, with good measure, dealing a lot of damage, but not enough. I don't think they took out anything. Oh, and all the Dragoons get cleaned up, and my Lings come rushing over. I've taken out most of, Drown. Oh, no. Just scouting around because I still don't know where Drown spawns, sorry. I call him Drone sometimes, I do apologize, but his name is Drown. Either way, Chronic is dealing the damage as necessary. I'm kind of moving some units into here. I've got my units around here. I've got this nice siege line so I can expand to this whole half of the map if I remembered. But I'm focusing on Lings and Micro for no apparent reason as I rush in and take out this expansion. I saw the transfer, so I just decided to go for it. And Chronic being all over the map, but, you know, only right there, seeing as what, he's got 3, 4, 5 buildings? Yeah. But Drown, gonna put up some pylons to try and stay alive a second longer, but I'm just gonna let him live and go over to take out both of these. Well, nope, Dragoons get to live. Yeah, and this was where we were talking about my favorite unit in StarCraft 2. I mean, StarCraft Brood War, and though Lurker is one of my favorites, the old Muta is probably my favorite because if anybody knows about it, just listen to the sound of Muta. Where I'm over microing by mistake, not really paying attention. And then I realize I can just take it, so I go for it. But yeah, the mutas from back then, listen to that. That is amazing. That makes you feel so disgusting. And like, you sound more like an insect. And Drown left the game, not even a GG, but we GG'd over Skype. That's it. That's all. Ladies and gentlemen, that was my first YouTube video. I will be putting up more. I will have some for DDSC-TV, so look us up. If you've only looked me up, then that's fine by me. You know, no choice. But DDSC-TV and DimeSC2, look both of them up. Look both those users up. Look both those channels up. We're going to be doing a lot. And as I always say on my stream, and this will probably become the way I end all my videos, to all of those who ladder, GG, WP, good luck.